What up, y'all, and welcome to Pocono Raceway for the ninth race in the 2022 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series, on pole by a whopping near 4/10 of a second over teammate Jonathan Zorlin, is Nico Tringali, who's been knocking on the door of a win a couple of times this year so far, hasn't gotten it done yet. Could today be the day? Got a lot to talk about as always, and just to start off, I'm joined by my man Vince Freeze.
Keystone State, Pennsylvania. Kev Shearer's hometown in a way after winning Texas. Let's see if he can get a back-to-back with a double shot. Can Tringali, like we said, make a surprise and get that win? Even though he's been knocking on the door, he hasn't been able to be the sealer. Ferrani's up there, Terminator, Fitzwater. Charles Sanford won here last year. I think about Pocono. I always think about multi-strategy racing. Sometimes you can get passing, which is not as easy as it looks, as Sanford proved last year on a restart. But multi-strategy expected to be all over the place, and how you save your tires, you got to drive like a road course. Maybe Seth Cole from the back, watch out for him. And that's it for me, buddy. Back to you.
In row 2, we've got Alex Ferranti and Dylan Young. Row 3, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. and Charles Sanford. Row 4, Allison Rain and Cole Deaver. And in row 5, Andrew Rich and Zach Flickinger. Allison Rain and Charles Sanford, the only past winners at this track in the field. Rain won here in 2018. And of course, as Vince just mentioned, Charles with the last lap pass here last year. Going to go through the rest of the starting grid as Vince goes over the drivers that failed to make the show.
Absolutely. Fine, there we go. We got Brent James, Mason Dagger, Laura Chung, Blaine Saylor, Reggie Folkman, Cole Hudson, Bradley Ream, James Ellison, Roy Ribbleton, and Lane Sanders. As our past winners, as I said, Charles Sanford last year, but to start it out, we have Chris Dow in 2017 with that Chevy 88. Allison Rain took it home for 4 in 2018. 2019, we didn't go there. 2020, Jeff DeLeo on the 19 Ford. And as I said, the Terminator last year. Can he make it back-to-back? We'll find out. That's all for me from the pre-race grid. Back to you, Zach, for the more intro here.
So I don't remember where Kev started in Texas, but he did go the longest. He was doing the overcut strat all the way. First time, got that yellow to come out. Then the second time, got another yellow near the end of the race when everyone started pitting, and we thought people were good, but they weren't. And then Kev ended up being good to go, and lap traffic took care of the rest. But he starts 41st here today. With the cloudy conditions, we expect these drivers to burn a lot of fuel, more than they would in clear conditions. So expecting a 2-stop, maybe 16 to 18, and expecting the tire wear fall off to be around 3 seconds.
Drivers, start your engine!
Keep it through the front.
Kind of forgot that this is a 2.5-mile track, Vince, so we've got some more time here on this pace lap. So this is the 9th race of the season this year. I believe it was also the 9th race last year. I'm going to have to get a rain check on that later. But first race in the month of May. And it was around this time last year that we started seeing drivers get their second wins of the season. Of course, this was Charles Sanford's second win of 2021. And then in the resulting weeks at Richmond, Martinsville, Bristow, and so forth, we saw Dylan Young get his second and third wins of the year. We saw Fitzwater get up their second and third wins of the year down the line. Through 8 races this year, only driver with 2 wins is Seth Cole. Drivers with 1 win apiece: Alexander Rowe, points leader Jonathan Zorlin, Nate Rogers, Charles Sanford, Allison Rain, and Kev Shearer. We know Nico Tringali's been knocking on the door of a win. We know Dylan Young's been up at the front sometimes this season. Same with Fitzwater. Andrew Rich is surprisingly not won yet again. Samet Oskin, of course, we know is Mr. Consistency at times. And, we've had some other drivers that have been threats, like Jessica Shelton and so forth. Coming into this race, Zorlin with a 40-point lead over Tringali, 43 over Seth Cole, and 58 over Fitzwater, with Charles Sanford 5th in the points. 3 drivers, top 10 in the points right now without a win this season. Fitzwater in 4th, Peter Onjak in 6th, and Jessica Shelton in 9th as we go green flag racing from Pocono Raceway. Oskin was the first one to go 3 wide there into turn 1. Tringali will clear Zorlin off the corner.
I'm a long pan back straightaway here. Going to this nice super shot race, I like to call it. Will be Tringali into the tunnel turn.
Ferranti will clear Zorlin into turn 3. And Fitzwater will clear Zorlin through turn 3. So a little surprise right now. Zorlin starting in 2nd. Does not seem to have the race pace so far. But right there he gets the run off the corner. He's going to cut back to the inside line. And Andrew Rich, who started in 9th, he's worked his way all the way up to 5th already.
Gotta think this is Andrew Rich's time. He knows we're in the month of May now. You don't have to win every race in the season. You just gotta be consistent. And that's the good thing with the points championship is Ferranti looks for the lead down Long Pond.
And this is quite the surprise to see. Alex Ferranti going for the race lead at Pocono, of all places. Ferranti in what is his 5th career season in the Digital Storm Cup Series. Never ran in the Jerky Pro Truck Series. And, you know, Ferranti is looking for that first career win still. He's got a couple poles to his name. Go ahead, Vince.
He's hungrier than everyone else right now. That's for sure. It's Fitzwater looks underneath 3rd. We'll see what he can do up front, though. He hasn't been in this position a lot in his career. Let's see how he maintains this.
Yeah, Ferranti with 3 career poles to his name. I believe 2 of those came his rookie season, if not all 3. As Fitzwater's going to take a dive on the Tringali for 2nd. This race today marked Tringali's 6th career pole. We've been seeing that a lot lately with drivers this year getting career pole number 6. Sorlin, Fitzwater, I want to say, Andrew Rich. A lot of drivers getting career pole number 6 this year. But so far, after 3 laps, Ferranti is the leader, but Fitzwater is there. Now remember, Vince, Fitzwater from Pennsylvania, born in Pennsylvania, but, you know, lives in Australia now. Not quite sure when that move occurred, but, like, definitely before his racing career began. And, you know, Pocono is probably, in my opinion, the one track that is the most similar to a road course without actually being defined as a road course. You know, you got 3 completely different turns, all going in the left, and I feel like this is a track that could be right up Fitzwater's wheelhouse.
Yeah, you got to hold corner momentum, and that's something like Phoenix. We know how strong he was at Phoenix. Another place where it's similar with the dogleg back straightaway. And these long straights, this is where the engineers can make a difference. Do you want this more trimmed out as Zorlin goes underneath the tires wear, or do you go for a Fitzwater set for the corner handling in a 1 and 2? As Zorlin, I think will stick it underneath and take the spot.
See, one of the longest straightaways on the calendar there. And Fitzwater with the fastest lap, 52.102, and I thought he was looking pretty good on his own. And then Zorlin and Oskin ran a 176 and a 228. And now Oskin is looking for 3rd place. Zorlin all over the bumper of affiliate teammate Alex Ferranti. And now he is looking to take the lead.
Man in 5th, Dylan Young. Well, voice corrector. The man in 5th, Dylan Young. Now, he had a brutal month in March. Road courses were not his thing. April was kind of inconsistent. And don't look now. I see Seth Cole working back there. Going to get the top 15. He started way in the back. We know how road course prowess he has.
Dylan Young now looks like Ferranti is starting to fade after a couple of laps at the front of the field. Tringali battling with Andrew Rich for 6th. Shelton right there in 8th. Deaver 9th. And Peter Onjak is up to 10th place, man. Vince, this guy has just been unbelievable lately this year.
I think he's the best driver I've ever seen so far this season in terms of practice pace. I mean, his practice pace is, I don't know, we don't keep an average stat for practice, but it's got to be in the top 10. Looks like Allison Rain will get underneath him here, but
oh, we have a caution. Caution's out. Zorlin will lead him at the line. Oh, and it involved Owen Miles. Perhaps some others here at the back of the field. Was about to get ready to go through the field, but that caution will delay that. So Zorlin leads here, 7th lap of the race. I would expect everybody to come down pit road here. As far as the fuel window goes, though, it's going to make things interesting because if you pit here coming to lap 8, 16 to 18 window would put you at lap 24 to 26. So potentially if they pit earlier than lap 25, if it goes green from this restart, could be quite the interesting strategy finish. But we'll go take a look at the replay while these drivers decide if they want to pit or not, and we'll be back for the restart. Well, just like last season, we've had an accident into the tunnel turn for racing for 38th or whatever this was. See, Adam Flickinger going to peek the nose on Owen Miles into the corner here and just straight up gets into him. I'm not sure if Miles coming down there or what the case was exactly, but around went the 28. See, Adam Flickinger just going to be able to save it here, but Miles nails it, backs it into the outside wall. See Christian Vargas and Christian Russell just scooting on by. But that is the extent of this caution, so let's get you guys to the restart. Problems after pit stops for Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Just came out of the pit lane in second and reporting a tire is down. I don't even know what to say about this, Vince. That is just awful luck. Faulty tire or something they're putting on the race car. And he was driving back by Oskin. They came off a pit road 3 wide, and he drove by Oskin to take his rightful spot in second, but now tire down on the 59, and just terrible luck for Fitzwater, man. He's going to be going all the way to the back once they get, you know, an inflated tire on the race car. I can't believe that was so difficult to say, but, man, what a tough break for this man.
He must be cursing on the radio. What in the world is going on? This is angry right now, but I don't know. He's got a fast car. I think he can rally to a top 20, but I think the shot at the win, it's going to be hard with Pocono being such a difficult place to pass.
Looks like it was a right side tire. So that is it, down and away. Owen Miles continuing. We are at the 1 to go, I believe. Let's go through the field from the back of the field here. So you got Priya McShane running in what is now 40th. Adam Flickinger we saw involved in that accident. Scott Roush back here. Jesse Turner is struggling in 35th. Kugel on 32nd. Alexander Rowe is at the back in 31st. Quinton Moore in 30th. Nate Rogers 29th. Kev Shearer's made it up a little bit. Vince, he's up to 28th. Keith Rich currently in 23rd. Henry Sanford doing decent for what we've seen of him this year. He's in 22nd. Yep is 21st. McIntyre in 20th. Cole Deaver falls all the way to 19th on pit stops. Allison Rain falling as well. She is 16th. Charles Sanford 15th. Seth Cole 14th. Audra Baranowskis 11th. And Zach Flickinger is now 10th. RJ Bishop in 9th. Ferranti 8th. Andrew Rich 7th. Tringali 6th. Onjak 5th. Shelton 4th. D. Young 3rd. Oskin 2nd. And Zorlin the race leader. We're going to have 31 laps of racing to go. As stated, we believe the fuel window is 16 to 18, perhaps 15 to 18. So if we go green from here, strategy going to be interesting. I'd say staying out as long as possible on this run is the way to go. As Oskin, Shelton, yeah, look at all these drivers making moves. Fitzwater, of course. You know, it's always crazy to think, Vince, that Cement Austin, who just took this race lead, 2020 Cup champion, but yet he's only got 3 career wins to his name. He won at Sebring in 2017. He won at Texas in his championship season in 2020. And he won the Bristol Dirt Race in the playoffs last year.
Silky smooth, man. That's why I call him the silky smooth cement. That's the man. But a championship format, you would expect him to do well. He's been a little sluggish this year. This could be a big breakaway. I think it's rolling just better on older tires. Watch these tires age, and he'll get it going. As you'll have the points here in a second.
Yeah, Austin currently in 14th in the standings. So it has not been quite the consistent year we've seen out of him in the past. You see Shelton drove past Dylan Young there for 3rd. Logan York is looking to get into the top 10. He is, in fact, in the top 10 after getting by Zach Flickinger. He's in 10th now. York has been very unsatisfied with the way his year has gone so far. We saw Seth Cole, as you mentioned, on the grid. Vince struggling qualifying again, mid-pack. It's surprising that the man with the most career poles isn't starting top 10 every week, but everybody's going to have a bad week in qualifying once in a while. So far, Vince Fitzwater not moving forward that quickly, but I think once tire wear kicks in, we'll see the 59 car really start to mow through the field.
He'll be probably one of the last ones to pit, too, with that top off at the end. I think he can extend the fuel window a little bit. Maybe gamble on 2-tire call. I mean, it'd be risky, but at this point, to win the race or at least get a top 10, it's maybe what you got to do.
And we know Fitzwater is fast, 3rd on the chart. Shelton and Andrew Rich running 52 O's on this run. And Owen Miles not that far off pace. Shelton actually looking for 2nd on Zorlin. I'm wondering if Zorlin is just slow out the gate, and then he really starts to get going once he's got the heat in the tires. But after having around the pit stops, Vince, I'm also curious if they made an adjustment on that car, and it might be hurting them.
Air pressures could be low, like you were saying, in a way. When you get those air pressures low, it just doesn't create the grip you need, especially in these corners being so long and poking off the radius. But I gotta say that Cement Austin is doing a really good job. Just blocking the lanes in a way, blocking the air as Dylan Young's looking to peek underneath the wall top for 3rd. As we get a nice little shot there in the tunnel.
Andrew Rich to the inside of Peter Onjak for 6th. They've broken away from RJ Bishop. Not sure if Bishop is holding these guys up or not. They don't seem too stacked up. But right now, 8th on back is fading from the top 7, and that is good news. If you're someone like Onjak or Jessica Shelton, you want to be, I don't think they're championship threats, Vince. But if you can stay top 10 in points a long time, you're looking pretty good. We know Shelton was in this position last season, and then she kind of fell off. But because she had built such a points lead off her consistency, finishing 15th or so the rest of the year didn't hurt her too much, and she still ended up making the playoffs and finishing decent in the points. That's what she and Onjak could be looking to maybe do. Just if you can start the year strong enough, you don't have to worry about ending up outside the top 30 at year's end. But to be fair for both of these drivers, Vince, neither of them had to worry about that last year.
Yeah, I think that's just the ebb and flow of the season. As you get more experience, you get more consistent. But Cement Austin starting to slowly fade off with the tires aging. And as Roman's starting to build those air pressures, I expect him to make a move on Sheldon in the next 2 or 3 laps here. He's looking eager. Yeah,
it looked like Dylan Young was attacking Zorlin, but now Zorlin is all over Shelton's rear bumper. But you see Zorlin got a little switched up there going to the corner. Didn't know if he wanted to go to the inside of the O2 or not. That sent him up turn 1, but he gets to run off the turn, and he'll hold off Dylan Young for now. But now you see even Logan York is holding these drivers up, and he just passed Bishop for 8th. As you see Brock really throw it in under the 21. Brock, another driver who we haven't seen much success from this year. He is currently 27th in the points, in need of a good run. Doesn't want to fall outside the top 30. So Charles Sanford and Allison Rain are starting to make their way through this pack. Now you see Fitzwater in the back slowly picking off the drivers one by one.
Shelton around Oscar for the lead. Great move on turn 1 there, I think.
Yeah, that was Shelton going for the lead, in fact. She actually had the lead at the line already, Vince. I think she might have made the move in turn 3.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now you see Zorlin to the inside of Oskin for second. D. Young side by side with Andrew Rich for fourth. And Tringali and Onjak right there, bumper to bumper. So closing in on a second to fall off since the restart. As you see Onjak on the inside of Tringali for sixth. Will Andrew Rich make a move here? Yes, he will. This is on Dylan Young for fourth. Oskin looking to make a late move on Zorlin for second. Rich gets to the inside of the 2, but Oskin, no dice on the 5. And now Oskin will pull out down this straightaway. That's going to give Rich a little draft to work with while he stays side by side with Dylan Young. And Rich will complete the move on Dylan Young for fourth. Now Tringali looking for fifth. Oskin still side by side with Zorlin for second. He'll take the spot there. Will Rich be able to clear Zorlin for third? And he will do just that. So York on back, continuing to fade from the leaders. What a move there by the 22. That was dicey.
Yeah, he definitely sent that one in there. But, man, I'm telling you, Andrew Rich is lurking, and we know this guy is hungry to get a win. A lot of people pick this guy as the man this year. 6, 7, 8 wins in preseason hype. But Zorlin says, not so fast, my friend, into the tunnel turn.
Yeah, we really thought Rich would go off this year. Maybe it would be the year like 2018 when he had an 8-win season. But he has not continued that dominance that we saw in the playoffs. Zorlin passes him back for third. As Oskin completes the pass on Shelton for the lead. But these 7 cars, they are all bunched up. There you see Brock in the distance clearing Bishop. Allison Rain is right behind them. Now almost 3 wide there for second place. It looked like they couldn't really decide what they wanted to do. Shelton will fade to fourth. Zorlin side by side with Rich for second. And Zorlin will get that run to hold on to the position. Now Zorlin looking to go back at it for the race lead. Still single file it up. Charles Sanford actually gets by. As Allison Rain has a problem.
Oh, no.
No problem. It does not appear there is an issue with Rain, but she was very slow. I'm not sure if she didn't get put in the wall. I don't see any damage. Not sure what happened to the 10. Maybe a close call. Might have lost some speed by getting into somebody and shooting up the track. That's my theory there, Vince. We're seeing a lot of people move around, and Amanda Evans just got about shoved into turn 1.
It's like a super speedway race back for sure.
Fitzwater hasn't moved forward that much. Still 33rd. Oskin leading Rich to the inside of Zorlin. Fall off over a second. And Rich will take the position back from Zorlin once again. Now what we're looking for, Vince, real quick is as we hit lap 21 and we're halfway through this thing, can you make it to at least lap 24?
I think for sure for Fitzwater, he should be the easiest one out of everyone to make the top off at the end. But I was going to say, before you made that great comment, can Andrew Rich snip this lead here? Where does he make the move? He hasn't really been behind Oskin, but I think I got a feeling in 3. He's been his strongest point at the exit of, I like to call it I believe it's Milwaukee. It's turn 3's after Milwaukee, but he's going to go to the tunnel turn. Okay.
Yeah, Milwaukee turn 3, Indy turn 2, and I believe it's Trenton from turn 1.
Yep, turn 1. There he is. It says Milwaukee long turn 3, and he'll get it done.
Rich to the race lead is Tringali on the inside of Shelton. See Sanford up to 8th. Racing with William Brock for the position. As Diego Yepes, Vince, has somehow found his way up to 10th. He's one of those guys in go or go home. And, you know, we say it every week. The guys 31st to 40th, they're in range. If they get a good enough finish, they could jump right up into the top 30 and be locked in for the next race. Yepes has surprised me by moving up to 10th here.
Especially coming up, man. The short track swing is coming. And we know what happens at short tracks stays at short tracks.
Yeah, no cautions. Ace Rogers up to 11th, but he'll get put a move on here by Bishop. So Rain has seemed like at times that she'll move to the front of this pack and then she'll fall back again. As Kev Shearer, he's up into the top 20 right now. Still no signs of pit stops. Nate Rogers with a bit of a rebound from a poor stop. He's up to, I believe, 21st now. Quentin Moore up from 30th on that restart. As you see Fitzwater up into the top 30 now, looking for 28th on Derek Hamill. You look at the laps Fitzwater's running compared to these other guys. He's about 0.3 faster, if not more. This fall off has really hit the cliff here. Alexander Rowe, man, though, what a tough day for him. He's passing Logan Williams for, I believe, 33rd. As Owen Miles is the first one to pit road. Ooh, I don't know what this means, Vince. Leaders are staying out. Oh, Yepes will be coming to pit road. Lap 23 to 24. That's going to be a close cut. A lot of drivers coming in, though. Quentin Moore and others. This is going to be good for the overcut attempt here. And Yepes being the first to pit out of this group, too. That's going to put him in no man's land, which is good to be in if you're doing an undercut. A lot of guys near the
pit road, for sure.
A lot of drivers near the back pitting as Zorland's going for the lead on Rich. Onjak has started to fade from this top group. Zorland is pitting. Rich will stay out since he's on his outside. That could make 23 good to go on gas as it looks like everybody else is coming in.
Fitzy does Fitzy in?
Fitzwater is coming. Yep, so everyone else pits, Vince, except for the 23.
Oh, boy.
So maybe we were wrong. Maybe it was 15 to 17 instead of 16 to 18.
This is not what you want Andrew Richstone to be around these guys who got fresh tires. You don't want to be up the hill in 3 here.
Rich should not have any problems making it back to pit road. No signs of sputtering. You know, if this race stays green, this could be what gets him to the finish.
I think he's good. I think he's definitely good to go.
That was close. Kukulon was putting a move on the 14. There you see the logjam of drivers who pit. This is going to be big for people like Priya McShane and others who are at the back of the field. We know McShane's been in just outside the top 30 in points. How about Trey Smith? He just gained a ton of positions off that strategy call. Leading them off of the pit lane is Samet Oskin. Jonathan Zorland right behind them. Shelton maybe sniffing the draft just a bit. So 15 laps to go. So we'll see Rich come off the pit lane. And he comes out behind the 22 and the 5. And the 02 of Shelton will drive by as well. So Rich does not lose many positions by staying out an extra lap, and he'll sit in 4th place. That'll put Dylan Young in 5th. Onjak going to look for that position. Tringali 7th. Yepes up to 8th. Charles Sanford 9th. And Zach Flickinger rounds out the top 10. Trey Smith goes all the way up to 11th with Brock on his back bumper. McShane up to 13th. Quinton Moore is racing Christian Vargas for 14th. Kev Shearer 16th. Devers 17th. Kugelon up to 18th. Ace Rogers 19th. Rowe up to 20th. Amanda Evans, RJ Bishop down to 22nd. Christian Russell. Seth Cole is 24th. Adam Flickinger up to 25th. Ferranti, man, he's down in 26th place now. Nate Rogers, 27th. Keith Rich in 30th. Allison Rain, man, terrible pit stop for her. She is 33rd. You see Audra Baranowski's back here struggling. Fitzwater pitting behind all those drivers, Vince, was not good for him. He is still down here in 38th. He really probably should have stayed out another lap there with Andrew Rich.
I think Ray maybe fixed damage under the pit stop too. We don't know what. Might need to take a replay on that lap 19, couple of 20, maybe at the end of the race. We'll see.
Yeah, not really sure if there was possibly some door damage there. No caution came out, so I believe she kept it straight. Probably just got into the wall.
So Andrew Rich just has low air pressure, or his tires aren't warmed up. He's about to get under threat from Tringali for 4th.
Well, and the 22 and the 5 have also been bumper to bumper, running 52 4s and 5s. And yeah, Rich is running very slow time, so might just be fuel strategy, Vince. Maybe trying to save that extra gas.
Could be close. I mean, if they start coming in, let's say Yepes comes in at lap 37, 38, then he's in the driver's seat. But if they go to 39, 40, I'll see it. As Peter's looking underneath. What a great run for this guy. We can't say enough about his practice efforts, and it's paying off in the race today.
Yeah, Rich was more of a long run driver on that last stint too, Vince. We didn't really see him drive through the rest of the field there in the top 7 until about 10 laps into the run. So let's wait and see. He might just be saving fuel here. As you see, he puts a crossover on Peter, and yeah, there you see that speed going into turn 1. Peter got the position easily in turn 3, and then Rich was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm going to just take this right on back from you in turn 1.
Terminator's closing.
Charles Sanford up to 8th, but 6 seconds behind race leader Samet Oskin. Teammate Jessica Shelton is up there in 3rd. Right now, the only real threat towards somebody in the top 10 is William Brock, as Zach Flickinger puts a move on Yepes for 9th. Looks like he will complete that pass easily. So Shelton riding in 3rd. How is she doing to the top 2? She is falling back 2/10 as expected without the draft. As the 7 of Tringali, 52.9 to the top 2s, 5 and 6. So no gain there for the 7 either. So right now, Vince, my prediction here with what'll be coming to 10 to go is that we could see a first-time winner out of either Oskin for outpacing Zorlin or Andrew Rich for the strategy here, or if those tires really start to come into play at the end of this run. Or we'll see Zorlin become the second driver to win 2 races on the season. If Zorlin is to do that, he will tie Andrew Rich for 15 wins all time.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to rule out Jessica Shelton here, unless something, like I said, field strategy goes awry. But just that doesn't have to pace the top 2 with the draft. It's important.
You see Onjak trying to fight back against Rich for 5th, as Charles Sanford has closed the gap on these drivers very quickly. I mean, he is downright flying.
Charles Sanford needs a caution, though. Maybe he gets that magic yellow at the end like last year. But he needs a yellow to have any chance at the top 3.
And we have seen some wacky pit strategies this season, Vince. You never know if someone's going to decide, hey, We can't make it. Let's just pit at 7 to go.
I wouldn't rule it out in this series, that's for sure.
See Fitzwater starting to move forward. Rain is going nowhere. Has not been Rain's season. Very inconsistent for her this year. Seth Cole has been going backwards as well. He's down outside the top 20. Yepes has fallen out of the top 10. McShane, Kev Shearer now looking at a possibility of being into the top 10 if they get by the 96 here. How about Kev, man? You know, started 41st, but all the way up to 12th. See Rich still fighting off Onjak for 5th, as now Sanford has gotten by Dylan Young for 7th. And now he's looking for 6th on Peter Onjak off of turn 3.
Definitely close in on Shelton. I think that battle for 3rd might be a little bit more conducive. But Jonathan Zorlin right now at the front is eating the back bumper of Smed Oskin.
Yeah, I don't know about that phrasing, but yeah, he is on his back bumper, Vince. And yeah, as far as Charles Sanford goes, I think he might go right on by Rich here, and he's got the same tires as the guys around him here, the 37 and the 7 and so forth. You know, all those guys pit the same lap, but you know, whatever adjustment the 03 team made, it is working big time for them here as Zorlin is looking for the lead on Oskin into turn 3.
They move there, just sends it by. Now, what do you do if you're Zorlin? You're going to be burning a little bit more fuel. If you haven't been in this position, I think I back it down here. Just try to save fuel and do a little lift coast. But Oskin's fighting.
He left the door open. He left the door open, so they're racing side by side here into turn 1. See what kind of run Oskin might get here. Now remember, Vince, the driver Sanford passed on that one-lap shootout last year was Jonathan Zorlin. So Zorlin may be looking for that win that eluded him 1 year ago. Oh, look at the dive by the 22.
Like a Bristol dirt move right there. A little slide job action halfway home. But I don't know, man. These guys are fighting hard. They're not saving right now, so they got to be confident they're making that fuel number.
We saw Rich stretch at 17, so I want to say they can make it. But you never know. They could have been, might not have been pushing as hard as these two are on these older tires. Sanford has made it by Rich for 5th. And this pack closed on the leaders that time by. Onjak's looking like a guaranteed top 10 today as Sanford puts a move on Tringali for 4th. They're reeling in Shelton for what will soon become a battle for 3rd. It's Brock in 9th, Flickinger in 10th. As Sebastian Kugelon is up here with his strategy inside the top 15. And Sanford will get by Tringali for 4th. Zorlin going at it for the lead again on Smed Oskin. 5 laps to go this time by.
This is what you want to see out of Pocono Raceway, though. It's a track notorious tough to passes. And I think he's going to close the door. Oskin's still a little side draft. Just a little bit, but he'll stay tucked right back in line.
Sanford closed half a second to the top 2 that time by. Shelton even closed a bit that time around as these two continue to exchange the lead. But time is running out. I'd say if you wanted to have a shot at fighting these guys for the lead, you got to be sniffing their draft at 2 to go. And it's going to be hard to do that. Oskin into turn 2 to the inside again. And you got to wonder if running the top, you know, going back and forth top to bottom, that could be burning a little extra fuel too, Vince, because you're running the wider arc around the corners.
We'll see. We're getting to that moment of truth. I'm feeling Tringali's looking underneath again for Sanford.
This is a battle back at it for 4th. Sanford looking to hold the line, the battle for this position, but Tringali will shut the door going into the corner. Oh, ho, ho. Some contact made there. Bottled them up. And lap traffic might come into play. Owen Miles, He is 2 seconds off with just that back end damage.
Ooh, here we go.
Zorlin to the inside again. Yeah, it's going to be close here if that 28 comes into play. Oh, Zorlin backed out. That made me think for a split second that they were going to pit.
I don't think you want the lead leader right now. You want to wait to that last lap because we don't know what that 28 is going to do. It's Wolf Shelton will either.
Sanford back by Tringali again. They've just about closed the gap up to Shelton, as Kev Shearer has entered the top 10. Zorlin to the inside one more time into turn 1. The battle is going to be on for third behind them. But I don't know who's going to win this race anymore. I think they're going to make it. I think we'll know this time by.
Look at this guy in turn 2. In tunnel turn, he just got more grip. That's incredible by Oskin. Deep on the brakes, road course style.
He's going to make a move for it again. He's going to dive it in there to turn 3. I don't think either of these guys are pitting, Vince. They're going for this thing. 2 laps to go here at Pocono.
Putting on a show right now. Now, what do you do if you're Zorlin? You got more straightaway speed, but Oskin's just better on the brakes in a 2 and 3. And he's going to tuck right back and get the draft. Turn 1, I would say Zorlin definitely favors him as he looks to peak just a little bit.
Yeah, he looked to peak indeed there. Sanford closing the gap back there on teammate Shelton for third. He'll peek the nose out here, but I'm surprised Andrew Rich wasn't able to make these tires do better. He's been just holding in line behind Tringali. Are we setting up for another last lap pass? Sanford will clear Shelton for third. Will Owen Miles play a factor? No. I think Owen Miles pit. Yeah, he did. He pit. Yep. White flag is out. It's down to Sameta Oskin and Jonathan Zorlin.
What is Zorlin doing to the tunnel turn? I don't think he'll have enough juice in the 1. He'll come down to that tunnel turn 3. He'll try to peak, but I don't think it's going to be the best move.
He's looking right there in turn 1. By the way, Kukul,
I think it's going to be 3, buddy.
Kukulon ran the fastest lap of the race, by the way, a 51.8. Can Zorlin set up a run here? Can he throw it into turn 2? He's looking. He throws it.
Yeah.
He's there inside of Sameta Oskin.
Now it's about the side draft. Who's got the more arrow? Same thing with third. It's going to be fun.
Into turn 3. Zorlin, Oskin, side by side. Can Oskin get any grip? Can he get a run here? He's trying. He's trying. He won't get there. Zorlin will win at Pocono. Redemption from last year.
I'd chalk that up to another great finish in 2022. We're definitely on a roll with this season with good finishes and great last 10 laps in the race for sure.
Oh, and Shelton edges out Sanford for third by 6/1000ths of a second. Results are official, and Zorlin reties Andrew Rich for the all-time wins list at 15 wins apiece through 179 Cup Series races. Tringali gets 5th. Andrew Rich, again, I am just shocked that staying out that long did nothing for his car. I'm really going to guess here that they just made a bad setup change there, setup adjustment. He'll get 6th on Jack Whataday in 7th. Dylan Young 8th. Sebastian Kugelon, man, out of nowhere in 9th with Cole Deaver rounding out the top 10. Seeing a lot of drivers who were outside the top 30 with good days, like Priya McShane in 13th. Ace Rogers 17th. Yepes 18th. We know Vargas has been hovering inside the top 30. He gets 19th today. People who were nowhere all day today, like Seth Cole, 23rd. Fitzwater got it back up to 31st. Rain, 33rd. Just, yeah, bizarre whatever happened to the 10. Definitely might have to go take a look and see if we can find something. If we don't, we're signing off. But if we do, you'll see another clip here in a moment. All right, so we found something indeed. This was racing for 9th place between Rain and Charles Sanford, and Charles makes a late move, and Rain goes to move up, but Charles still just gets into her back bumper, and that puts her up into the outside wall. Thankfully, Rain was moving up already, or, that could have been a repeat of the caution we had today, and with how far ahead of the field she was, somebody likely would have came flying in there and clobbered that 10 car. But yeah, that is likely why Rain fell during pit stops too, fixing that damage. That's going to be all she wrote for us today. We'll see you guys next week at Richmond. Jerky Pro Truck Series is returning. And yeah, it's time for the stretch of short track races where cautions don't fly and pandemonium ensues.
I don't know.